What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Warzone. So the C58 has been nerfed. They've nerfed the recoil again, and here's what Raven Software had to say. They said they've adjusted the recoil. High damage weapons like the C58 tend to adhere to a lower rate of fire and higher recoil, which generally balance out their hasty time to kill potential. Much like the Krig 6, the C58 was a tad easier to control than we feel is appropriate for a weapon with its damage profile. While the recoil adjusted can be rather nebulous, the exact details of these changes can often be difficult to quantify with numbers alone. While the C58 recoil has been increased slightly, the majority of this change will be felt in the recoil pattern deviation. When the deviation is increased, it can create subtle shifts when becoming increasingly difficult to compensate for given distance from the target. So they have nerfed it. I'm going to be going over some recoil patterns with you guys as well in regards to what it was like pre-nerf and what it's like now. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit the notifications bell when I'm uploading future content. And with that, let's get straight into it. So what they've actually done with this weapon now is they've just kind of made it a little bit more difficult to kind of manage the recoil at those further distances, and there is a bit of recoil bounce now. So you kind of notice at those distances that, you know, you're struggling to hit those shots, and especially if you're trying to beam people out of the sky, it can get a little bit difficult. So I feel like this gun now is better in kind of the mid-range because it still has a really competitive TTK. And what we're going to do now, I think, is I'll show you the recoil pattern of what it's like now and what it's like side by side, so you guys can work out how much extra recoil there is. So let's have a look at that now. Okay, so I'm going to show you a slow-mo now of the nerf C58. Now previously it just went to the top of the green bit on the garage, but now there's a few extra shots that go up and above. Which means you are going to notice it slightly at those distances. So here's the nerf on the left and the C58 pre-nerf, and if you just see here, it stops firing, but with the one on the left it just goes up and above the garage. So the difference is pretty minute. So at those kind of medium ranges you're not really going to notice a difference with the C58, but if you're trying to sort of beam people out of the sky, or, you know, trying to take people at like 152 meters, you're going to notice. Let me just get rid of this guy quickly. I've got a bounty on me.
You're so bad at the game, please.
I love it when people die and they say that I'm bad at the game. It doesn't really make much sense. But anyway, so you can kind of see that, you know, at those longer ranges, you are going to struggle with it. And I'm now going to show you, I have edited it on Photoshop so you guys can actually see the difference in how further the recoil is. So let's have a look at that now. Okay, so if you have a look here on the left, that's the C58 pre-nerf, and all of the bullets are really sort of tight together, and you can kind of see that. And then when you look at the C58 after it's been nerfed, there's a few extra bullets at the top because there's more space in between each bullet. So at those longer ranges, you are going to struggle to hit those shots. Do I think people will still use the C58? Absolutely. It's still an absolute beast and it's got an amazing TTK. But there are other weapons out there that are going to be easier to manage, like the QBZ. And then people are probably still going to use the Krig, even though that's been nerfed as well. And there's probably people that will just go back to the Growl as well. And there's other good options like the M4 as well. So overall, I'm still going to be using the C58 because I absolutely love the C58. I love the way it feels and everything. But I am noticing it is harder to hit those shots at distance. So I will be trying out some other guns in the next videos. And they have nerfed the Stoner and the Type 63. So I will be doing some further videos on that. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the notifications bell when I'm uploading future content. With that, stay blessed. Take care.